Hurricane Fiona is leaving Puerto Rico on track for the Dominican Republic. Good evening, I'm Mike Naso with this Sunday evening update, continuing coverage of a very disastrous hurricane for the island nation of Puerto Rico. There it is as of 5 p.m., Hurricane Fiona, 18.2 north, 67.3 west, winds of 85 miles per hour, so it's a high-end Category 1 hurricane, but you wouldn't know it based on some of the reports we're getting. It's moving northwest at 9, and still 986 millibars on that pressure. This hurricane might not be as intense as Hurricane Maria, but the flood threat is going to be disastrous. We're already seeing bridges falling apart, being washed away, the likelihood of mudslides, landslides, just catastrophic flooding already occurring. Power is out. It's a very, very bad strike for Puerto Rico. Certainly it's going to be the worst hurricane since Maria 5 years ago, almost to the day. Here's the track, and again, it's going to be to the northwest and then north. Although the Turks and Caicos Islands, you guys are under those tropical storm warnings, as well as the southeast Bahamas, because there is a chance it could always move a little bit more to the left and get over some of those islands. It should become a major hurricane, at least a Category 3, if not a Category 4, and then turn out, but it is going to cause problems potentially for Bermuda sometime overnight Thursday. Now, what's scary about this for Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic as far as flooding is with a storm, it's not necessarily how strong it is, it's how fast it's moving. And right now, this is between tonight and Wednesday afternoon. Very little motion. It's not going to move a whole lot. In contrast, between Wednesday night and Friday night, it traverses the entire central Atlantic. So that should tell you, Western Atlantic rather, that should tell you what we're looking at here as far as the rainfall threat, especially on the back end of this hurricane. There's the watches and warnings. Again, hurricane warnings for Puerto Rico. We had wind gusts over 100 miles per hour on the south coast, very near Ponce, and now we are seeing the Mona Passage is the area it's crossing between the Dominican and Puerto Rico, on track for a potential landfall in the Dominican Republic. There's our Hurricane Fiona. It made landfall around 3 p.m. Eastern Time in southwestern Puerto Rico, and now it's moving into the Mona Passage, and it should either make landfall in the Dominican Republic or just skirt the coast. Nevertheless, the rainfall, look at these thunderstorms blowing up on the back end of this hurricane, and that's just feeding moisture, a constant fetch of moisture from the hot waters of the Caribbean, and it's causing so many problems. Look at these rainfall rates. It is insane today how they went from 2 inches of rain all the way up towards 16 inches in areas there of Puerto Rico. There's another one near Ponce. It was 4 inches of rain. Now it's up over, good God, almost 20 inches of rain, and it's only going to get worse. Look at this radar. See these echoes, these red and yellows? This is the backside of the hurricane, so even though the eye passed over land, made landfall, now it's leaving, it's going to still rain like mad, and that's not going to stop. Not this evening, not tonight, probably not until sometime tomorrow. We need to get Fiona's eye up and out and away, but if it continues to have that fetch of moisture over Puerto Rico, you guys are in for it. You are not going to have it dry out anytime soon. If you are listening from Puerto Rico or watching from Puerto Rico, which I don't know if that's possible because the entire island right now is without power, as you can see from this map. But if you guys are somehow watching this, you need to remain on high ground, away from the water, because the flood threat is very real with this hurricane. Look at this. This is in Caguas. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Look at this flood threat. 27 feet. Major flood threat. The record is 33.2, and this was as of 3:50. It might be surpassing records here with some of the flooding. I hope not, but we're getting there. Look at this one here. This one's headed towards its record of 12.5 feet, major flood stage. Here's a good map for you. This is from the NOAA website. This is where the hurricane is right now over the Mona Passage, and we have some different kinds of tide gauges. Look at that. Mona Island over here, high water mark, and that's closer to the Dominican Republic, and that's only going to get worse. Here's another one. This is a tide gauge to the south of areas there where it made landfall, and this is Maguis Island, and we're in minor flooding, but it's only going to get worse. And a lot of it's not from storm surge, but from the heavy rainfall, like I said, on the back end of this hurricane. The track here through time, not hard to comprehend that it's going to move north and then very close to Bermuda. But again, Bermuda, you might get a direct impact from a major hurricane. Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, you folks may get a direct impact from this storm, and it could still be a very powerful system. And we even have some ensemble members here off to the west. I'm not liking that. There's always a chance that this thing takes a little bit more of a left-hand turn and gets too close for comfort for the East Coast. But right now, the eastern seaboard of the U.S. should be okay. Look at this European model, though. Not okay. This was as of 12Z. Look at the winds. After devastating Puerto Rico, impacting the Dominican, skirting the Turks and Caicos, Bermuda gets into some heavy, heavy wind down the line. And that would be the map of a hurricane, easily a Category 4, and you'd be in the right front quadrant with onshore flow. Bermuda has good building codes, but for a little island sticking out there, you would think they'd be okay, but they get hit a lot. Of course, that pattern you could see would totally favor it moving out to sea, but it could still impact the Canadian Maritimes up there. Storm surge will continue with the onshore fetch in Puerto Rico, 1 to 3 feet areas of Cabo Rojo and Ponce, and then 1 to 2 feet here in Vieques and Culebra. But again, it's not so much the surge as it is the rainfall. The key messages from the National Hurricane Center on Hurricane Fiona as of 5. Hurricane conditions are going to begin in the Dominican Republic later tonight. Tropical storm conditions this evening. And number 2, most importantly, heavy rain will continue across Puerto Rico tonight, then over the Dominican later tonight and tomorrow, Monday. Rainfall amounts, catastrophic, life-threatening flash flooding, urban flooding across Puerto Rico, the Dominican, mudslides, landslides, especially in areas of higher terrain. And as it moves away, it is forecast to strengthen, and tropical storm conditions are expected in the Turks and Caicos Islands and even the southeast Bahamas by late Monday and early Tuesday. Look there, that rain map. This is nothing. We might see rainfall amounts way, way higher than this. And there it is in Spanish for people who read Spanish, the latest on Hurricane Fiona. Look at some of these videos. Watch this bridge here in Puerto Rico. Boom, boom, boom. There it goes. The whole thing pulls out. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people, especially young kids, you guys think Puerto Rico is pretty much a state. It is a very much not the infrastructure of the United States of America mainland. They're going to be needing a lot of help, I'm telling you right now. Look at this, another video here. This is from Carlos Freddy on Twitter. Watch that bridge. There it goes. And this is just beginning, guys. This is a very serious hurricane for the island of Puerto Rico. There's another look at the radar. Again, a very serious strike on Puerto Rico. Hurricane Fiona made landfall in Puerto Rico, now over the Mona Passage, headed for areas of the Dominican Republic. Heavy, heavy rainfall, life-threatening flash flooding, powers out on the whole island. Hunker down if you're in areas of Punta Cana, because she's coming for you next. I'm Mike Naso. I'll have more on Hurricane Fiona as we continue to watch this devastating strike on the island of Puerto Rico.